for participants. And our letter winners were Colin Hagan and Keen Fisher. Colin had a scary experience in the middle of the year, but he's fine now. Sophomores, letter winners, Cade Weeks, Atwood Auburn. Juniors, letter winners, Big Chase Goodman, Zach Swanson, Branson Anderson, Cole Otten, Chase Kotzer, and Kip Leonard. And then seniors, all letter winners, Dooley Caulfield, Hunter Craven, Gavin Pruitt, Jackson Hallett, and Dylan Memory. Can't forget about Gunner, he was the manager. We'll start real quick. JV, we played the 3-game schedule. Lost to Ainsworth. Then we were able to beat and come from behind game against Sandhills and Bassett, and then put the books to Boyd County and really finish that on a high note with some of our younger guys. Always good to get some JV games in, so it's not such a meat grinder practice, especially late in the season. Give you just a quick rundown. As many of you guys know, not an excuse, but we were the smallest D1 team for the last 2-year cycle. We were put in an extremely difficult district. 7 of the teams that we played would have qualified for the playoffs, but Lutheran High Northeast is actually ineligible because of their 6-2 enrollment. So 6 of the 7 went to playoffs, and they had a chance to beat Arcadia, Leaf City, and Bassett. Didn't quite get it done. Played portions of our games close for halves, just unable to hold up down the stretch. But the guys continued to battle. In fact, I thought from an effort standpoint, the game at Elkhorn Valley was probably our best. If it wouldn't have been for a play here or there, maybe 1 or 2 turnovers, 1 or 2 big plays, we were right there with them. That team ended up going 6-2 and winning 2 playoff games. So you see some potential there. As far as postseason recognition, first team All-District, Jackson Hallett and Gavin Pruitt. An honorable mention was Hunter Craven, Chase Kotzer, and Kip Leonard. We also had 2 players qualify for Academic All-State. That was Zach Swanson and Cole Otten. Just a handful of thank yous from me. Appreciate the work that Kyle Lindsay did this year, and also Ethan Hunter. Kyle he was real consistent for us. He does a lot of time, spends a lot of time watching film, studies the game, makes some suggestions here and there for the game plan, and real pleased with what he's doing for us. And then with Ethan, he's been doing a great job. He's been here since 2018, real patient with the kids, good football guy, good economics guy, fundamental worker. So appreciate everything he's done for the program. Unfortunately, he, as many of you know already, he did decide to resign, move down, but certainly appreciate everything he's done for me and the rest of the guys. I think enough if you see him, I don't think he made it tonight, but make sure you give him thank yous for good service. I also want to thank the parents just generally for their support, and then, of course, probably my favorite part of the season, which is the team supper the night before the games. Which is actually the main reason for this coach anyway. And also can't forget Debbie and Tim for taking care of us with the bus. thought North Central for our size has traveled well, and we travel well, and we're at the top of the district, and we travel well, and we're at the bottom, and that hasn't changed. So appreciate that. Hope to see that go forward. Just got to thank Mike Stephen working with me here through a down cycle, and maybe some frustrating times for a lot of us. But we'll get this thing corrected. And, for a lot of us that have been around a long time and plan on being here in the future, we have a lot of things we want to get done. We know what's going to work. We know how to get that resolved. Most of you know with Ethan's retirement, there is an open position now. So if anybody is interested, somebody that's interested, certainly send them our way. We'll also reach out to a handful of people and try to get those contacts. So if you really like me and you really like us, that's a great opportunity to be an assistant coach. If you dislike me and you don't like the other guys on the staff, that's a really good opportunity to become an assistant coach. So I appreciate the guys, the way they continue to fight and work hard. For people that haven't been through that difficult season, you lose 3-4 games in a row, it starts playing your psyche a little bit sometimes. And there were games that we knew we were probably outmatched in, others we weren't. But we came out and we played hard for the most part, maybe a little tail end of the season, for the most part, continued back and played hard. So appreciate that. These guys worked hard. Seniors and captains, I'm proud of it, hanging in there, keeping a positive attitude all year. And for the guys that are returning, just remember there's a lot of people out there doubting us, doubting you, doubting me and the other assistants. And to quote Deion Sanders, we come.
I think I'm just going to start off with probably the most important person on our team, our manager, Abby Weiss. I wish she should probably be up here doing it for us, but anyways, no, we can do I just want to say thank you to Zach, Mike and Kayla, the administration, our wives, anybody, all the parents, everything they do, really makes it a good season. So when I say your name, just stand up and stay standing. I say all of your names. This year's participants were Trace Cow, Wyatt Dillon, Kate Weiss, Wyatt Fowler, Atwood Albrecht, Zach Weeblehouse, and Gage Harrington. Your letter winners are Brett Olson, Jackson Kozad, Chase Jawicki, Chase Coxer, Kip Leonard, Branson Anderson, Bo Kaufman, and Gavin Pruitt. This year, and I think I'm going to mention this in the paper one time, but it was kind of a year of first for us. This year it was one of our very first ever tournament as a team in Selma Myrna, which, 13 years or so, never. But we had kids win their first meets as individuals, place in meets, 500 for the year. And another one, kids first time learning that you probably shouldn't eat bullpen at Tater Talk Hospital the night before a tournament. He always made weight. No matter what he come in that day, he always made it, so I got to give him credit for that. It was a good season. A lot of ups and downs, but overall, the kids work hard. They give it their all. They're good kids, and that's all we can ask for. This year we got to host a conference tournament here in Springview. I thought everything went great. It was nice to be able to have something that big, where can have our spectators there to support the boys. We ended up third place as a team. Fell short to Neely Odell and Elkhorn Valley. Just two very, very tough teams. Have been for a long time. I think we could have got some more matches out of those duels, but they don't all go our way. We got to districts, so I thought we had a good chance to get quite a few guys. We always feel like we're going to get quite a few guys, but you never, we want to take the whole team, but that just don't happen all the time. Boys wrestled tough, they left it all out there. We ended up with, I think, three state qualifiers and a place winner. Before I get to that, I should go to our all-conference awards. Your second team all-conference was, you can stand up again for these two. Brett Olson, Jackson Kozak, Gavin Pruitt, Branson Anderson, big man, Kip Leonard. But back to districts, battled hard. We got 3 to state. I thought maybe we'd have them finish in a little different places than what they did at districts, but they got there. And then anybody that doesn't know, that's a huge feat. Branson Anderson qualified, kind of the end of the season, he battled some shoulder injuries and, wrestled his butt off. Went down there, he won at least one match at Omaha. Just a junior this year, so we look for him to make a strong run next year. Bo Kaufman, another one, I remember talking about him after his sophomore year. If you don't remember Bo as a freshman, he probably couldn't have whipped himself up a wet paper sack, but he put in the work and the time, and state qualifier his senior year, won a match down the state, really come a long ways. And Gavin Pruitt, one that has been real close over the years to get to state. Did some times that we wanted to kick him in the butt, but he came out his senior year on fire. Most of the season he was undefeated, kind of running some barn burners there the second half of the season. Come home with a fifth place medal. I think I don't know how many years in a row we've had a medalist, but he kept that going for us. Me and Zach were arguing. He was an outstanding wrestler. I said Mullen anyway. Zach thought Anselmo. Which was it? Murder. Dang it. I think that's the first time Zach's won that on me. But anyways, Bo and Gavin, both are 2 seniors. Couldn't be more proud of them, and kind of the leaders they were on this team. I'm gonna miss them. My 2 neighbor boys. Hope they do great things in the future. And I'm just really proud of them. So, again, a great season. Thanks for all the hard work you guys do, and looking forward to next year. Thanks. I also forgot, maybe we should do a push-up line here since Gavin just now turning into stuff.
right, Jackie's telling me to talk fast, so I know what everybody's thinking. Coach Graff ages really well, but no, he's had a family deal, so he asked me to step in. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet for a couple reasons. Number one, I'm wearing a tie, and PE teachers don't wear ties, so I'm already regretting this decision, so we're going to keep this sweet and short. Second reason, I got to give another speech later, so I got to be quick so that I can give my longer one later, so that I make Jackie really happy. I want to talk about a little bit about this season. We had a year that felt like we left a lot on the table. I think all of us felt that way, specifically myself. Came up a little short in districts, played Boyd County team that really took it to us. I still feel like we were the better team, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. But I want to talk, a couple of my brightest memories from this season were conference. We came in and we played a CWC team that we beat pretty easily earlier in the season by about 10. We went into that game and you could just tell during warm-ups that they really thought they were going to take it to us. They came out and we just absolutely blitzed them. I don't know what the score was at the end of the first quarter, but I think we were up, 15-20. And everything was coming together at that time. The team was really buying into what we were trying to do. The team came out and just played great. And that game was over by halftime. So that's a memory that I will have from this season. We went out, next game, played Elkhorn Valley, number 1 seed in the conference. Same thing, they thought they were a real big deal. I gave some sort of speech to the starters out on the court before the game. I don't remember exactly what I said. I know I cannot duplicate it, but and I don't think it was very appropriate for this setting either. But it must have worked because we came out that game, had a good start to that one. So those are 2 memories that I'll have from this year with these guys. They really performed well at times, and I know at the end of the season, bad taste in our mouth, but a lot of good memories I have in this squad. So a couple of awards I want to announce, or Graff gave this list to announce. So when I say your name, just please stand up and I'll read these announcements here. Hunter Craven, Academic All-State. Jackson Halleck, NBC Conference 2nd Team, Academic All-State. Class D1 All-State Honorable Mention. And Jackie is selected to play the North Central Nebraska All-Star Game on May 24th in O'Neill. Cole Otten, I know Cole's not here tonight, NBC Honorable Mention. Class D1 All-State Honorable Mention. And finally, Zach Swanson, NBC Honorable Mention. And Zach tied the North Central assist record this year with 11. So please give those guys a round of applause. Last thing, I want to talk about our seniors this year. Seniors, please stand up. Jackie, Mason, Hunter, JP. Okay, these guys, this is my 2nd year working with these guys, and I cannot be more proud of each and every one of them. I didn't see them as freshmen, but at times they looked like freshmen these last 2 years, so I can kind of get a glimpse into how they were. But I cannot be more proud of how far each and every one of them has came this year. Jackson went from, not being able to stay out of foul trouble last year to senior year, hardly ever coming out of the game. And that's a credit to him. He knew how needed he was to the squad. He got his conditioning in shape, and he really took one for the team and made sure he was out there for us. Hunter Craven, I'm really happy we got him convinced to go out this year. I didn't know if we were going to after he missed all last year with a shoulder injury. Voice crack, sorry. No, I'm really proud of Craven. Gave us big minutes this year, had a lot of big moments. I'm not going to say your nickname here in front of everybody, but you know what it is. So Thank you, great. Mason Hagan, this kid, he never gets tired. As his cross-country coach knows, track coach knows, anybody that knows Mason knows, he never gets tired on the court, on the track, no matter where he's at. He just gives all he has. Just a tenacious defender, and honestly, I'm more proud of him for the way he changed from junior year to senior year. He grew up a lot. He developed his game a lot. He became an offensive threat for us this year, especially early in the year when we needed it. So I cannot be more proud of Mason for that. And Jameson Pinger, he's the brains behind the operation. Okay. He's always there. You can always count on JP during conditioning week to throw up. And then you can always count on JP during district time to tell us where we're at on points. JP's the best. And I want to thank JP. He's always there for practice. He's always there, motivating the guys. He was the heart and soul of our squad this year. He was a big important reason for why we accomplished what we did this year. So thank you guys. We got to move on, and John Frazee can come up to the podium.
Okay, well, everybody has kind of thanked the administration, our athletic directors, bus drivers, which was great, principals, Mrs. Hall and Mrs. Hebert. I can remember you guys going down to EPDJ, Elgin, to cheer us on down there, and I thought that was really cool because that was a tough drive. The gym is right next to where my aunt and uncle lived, so that house right next door. So it was kind of cool home week, and it was nice to see you guys down there. I also want to make sure that we take care of Mr. Crawford, Carl Chase, Mrs. Clay, and I know they'll always do everything as far as setting up and cleaning up after games. I do it myself, and it is zero fun, right? So they do a great job. And also the bus drivers, can't forget Steve Hansen, Justin Teal, and Joe Boots that stepped in as well. And it was nice to see that we talked about Brian Doak and Maggie from Rangeland Rehab. They did a great job. And my first person that I want to thank is Zoe Coleman. We did not have a student manager, and she stepped up and did that, and that was great, because that was the thankless job. Nobody wants to be the student manager except the student manager, so that was great. As far as our season overall, 12-10, which doesn't sound all that great until you kind of look a little bit deeper into it. 4 of those losses went to teams that qualified for state. 2 more losses went to a team that lost in the district final by 1 point. And the 7th loss out of the 10 to Winter, they lost to the eventual state champion in South Dakota. So 7 out of the 10 losses. Although obviously not happy about losing, we would like to compete a little bit better. Those were pretty good teams. Seasons never go as always the plan. Obstacles pop up along the way. This year we obviously had a terrible injury to Dow. We also had sickness that kept players out of big games, kept coaches out of games. Kids not here, but we also had one that had to go through concussion protocol. So we, along with everything else, had to go through a lot of that. And I'm very proud of this team as they still found a way to persevere and have a winning record. The other thing that I want to talk about is we have a lot of talented athletes and kiddos around here. I mean, our kids are doing multiple sports, participating in band, one acts, quiz bowl, FFA, and countless other opportunities. And it's very, very difficult for everybody to put in all the time for this sport or that sport. And so sometimes we may not always have the best of this or the best of that, but we have really great kids that try hard in a lot of different areas.
It's pretty cool that we're in an area and we're small enough that we can be able to do all the things that you guys want to do. So it's very, very cool. As far as, because I'm supposed to keep it short, this statement, I want to make sure that we talk about our freshman, Macy Harrington, stepped up and did a really good job for the JV team. Sydney Hoffman, not sure that she was going to play, then she played, and then when she got after it, it was great. Zoe Snyder did a great job, got better as the year went on. Fallon Winsky decided to play some post, along with some guard stuff. And then letter winner was Maya Lewis, who was also named honorable mention all conference, which is very cool. Sophomores, Rebecca Reynolds. She always makes everybody laugh. It is tough sometimes to get practice started with Rebecca around. It's sometimes hard to get practice stopped when Rebecca is around. Angela Frick, what a great runner, and was very surprised and happy that you came out and you improved greatly throughout the year, and I appreciate that. Letter winners, Reese Taylor. Reese had one of those years where you're on the JV team and you're trying to earn minutes and trying to find your way in there, and that's always a difficult spot. I appreciate her being patient and obviously started at the end of the year and started the last game of the year. Kit Painter is a letter winner. Kit obviously had the concussion protocol, and I don't know if there's a tougher player that we have. I don't know. She is very, very tough. And then Carly, appreciate everything that you've done, right? It is difficult. Yes, I can't call it that. You guys can call it that. It doesn't work for me yet. But appreciate, started some, came off the bench some, played a lot in some games, didn't play a lot in the others. Appreciate everything that you did, because as a team, each athlete is like a piece of a puzzle, and we need to try to put them together, and some games are different than others. Juniors, Sydney Sackran. Every day, Sid always had something. I will never forget having to take the toe every single day for the longest time. That made my day, and I knew that my day was complete, that we took care of that. I appreciate the fact that you are quite possibly the best teammate that I've ever been around. You are always positive to everyone, and you are very rarely thinking of yourself, which is really, really admirable. Letter winner, Bridget Lewis, appreciate everything that you have done, handling the ball, wanting to be a post, wanting to do some things. Appreciate all of that. And our seniors, I already talked about how, and I feel terrible that we kind of coached and prodded and asked the questions, and you made the decision, and then the terrible injury, and we hope you nothing but a speedy recovery. Olivia Strand, quite possibly the most nervous person I've ever met. When you ask somebody to shoot in basketball, that's usually a no-brainer, and she said absolutely not. So I appreciate you coming out. Lady Pospisil, I appreciate everything that you've done, from being able to come off the bench to starting a little bit and always going through that. Not always easy, and much appreciated. Much appreciated. Morgan Lewis. Morgan, probably the best defender I've seen in a long time. Absolutely go all the time. Maybe not try to steal every single ball, but I'll take the effort, because the effort is great. Morgan was second team all-conference. She was academic all-state. She was honorable mention all-state by the Omaha World Herald, Lincoln Journal-Star, and Columbus Telegram. She will also be playing the same game that Jackie will be playing in on the 24th. And last, Addison Anderson. Addison, 4-year starter. Obviously, I didn't get to see your first year. Got to pay attention a little bit your second year. Appreciate everything that you've done for the program. Addison was first team all-conference, academic all-state, honorable mention all-state for the World Herald, Lincoln Journal-Star, and Columbus Telegram. And Addison will be leaving holding 3 records, which kind of makes sense because they're all for 3-point shots. So Addison has the school record for threes in a game of 6, number of threes in the season 40, and number of threes in the career 129. So thank you very much, seniors. We are going to be very young next year. We are going to miss you guys big time. Appreciate everything that you've done, and good luck.
If this is your first North Central Awards program that you've been to that I speak at, you'll know I'm the shortest and sweetest of all the speakers. So that will continue tonight. I have 7 golfers this year. Participation this year is Trace Cow and Alicia Morbeck. Our letter winners for golf this year are Branson Anderson, Zach Swanson, Blaine Frizzell, Grant Lazat, and Kean Fisher. Branson and Kean were also selected academic All-State this year. Kean is also All Conference for his finish at the conference golf meet, and our team finished 3rd at the conference golf meet. We have 2 tournaments remaining prior to districts, so we have home tournament tomorrow. We have a tournament Thursday and Valentine, and just to speak to Mrs. Clemensrud, when she says Valentine's challenging cross-country course, it's challenging for golf also. Those of you off the track that say golf is not a workout, talk to Mrs. Clemensrud about walking Valentine's golf course. It is a workout. But we have those 2 tournaments, and we have districts on Monday the 13th. We have a very good chance of bringing home some medals and some hardware from that district golf meet. If we do what we're capable of, hopefully we will be golfing yet towards the end of May when we go to North Platte. So thank you to all the golfers. Thank you to Mrs. Fisher, my assistant golf coach. She's phenomenal at all she does, and you all know that. And then thank you to all the parents, the Booster Club, for what you do for North Central Athletics, and all the administration, all the staff. As you know, in the spring, our kids are out in the building quite a bit. Our staff in both buildings do a phenomenal job of keeping our kids up to speed on their work and covering for each other when all of us have to be gone as coaches. So thank you all.
You guys miss me? No problem, Stacey. What's up, brother? All right, so this has been a long time coming for me, and this night truly means a lot to me. So I'm going to talk personally for a second before I get into this track team. Ever since I was a little kid, sports has been everything in my life. I don't hunt, I don't fish. I never learned how to ride a bike. I can't really swim, and that's a real story. I don't know how to ride a bike. I never learned. One time in college, Jeff Knox tried to teach me. It didn't go well. But sports has been everything to me. When I was in the 1st grade, I was coached for the first time by someone who became a hero to me and mentored me, and the greatest coach that I've ever seen in my entire life, and that was Paul Baronic. Paul coached me in baseball from the time that I was 6 years old up through high school. He coached baseball, he coached basketball, and he was my high school track coach. I'll talk a little bit about Paul in a second, but when I graduated from high school and I went to college at UNK, one of the first calls I received was from a man named Bill Giffen. He was the head basketball coach in Pleasanton. His son played baseball with me. I knew him a little bit, didn't know him that well. But he gives me this call out of the blue, and he's like, "Hey, would you like to come coach with me next year?" I was 17 at the time. I was like, sure, no brainer. Okay. The memories I made with my coach, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I walk into practice. Little fun fact, 2 of the kids I coached that year were actually older than me. As an assistant coach, I had 2 kids that were about a month older than me. We still joke about that to this day. But it never felt weird. I came in with a certain level of respect from them, coming from Ravenna, where I played under Paul Browning. So it was never weird. It was never an issue. But for 9 years, I've been coaching sports. But this was the first time that I've been granted the opportunity to be a head coach. And it's been a long time coming for me. And I want to thank everybody that was involved with that opportunity to make me a head coach. It's something that I've been striving for a long time. I coached for 3 years, assistant boys basketball in Pleasanton. Then I did 4 years at Amherst. And then I had an opportunity. I interviewed for a PE position there. Didn't end up getting PE and girls basketball coach. Didn't end up getting it. And then I thought that was it. Honestly, it was kind of I put all my eggs in that one basket. Didn't work out for me. And then life happened. I ended up working as a rec coordinator at Kearney. I was still involved in sports. I still did a little coaching, but it just wasn't the same. My passion wasn't completely there. My flame was kind of burning out a little bit. And then a few years ago, I moved my family up here, be closer to family, be closer to the business opportunity. I didn't really think much of coaching again. But then stuff happened. I had a conversation at daycare with Mr. Otten one day, and one thing led to another, and now I'm a PE teacher in Bassett. I've been coaching basketball for 2 years, and now head track coach. So for me personally, this has been an honor to be a head coach, and I really appreciate that. A little bit more about Coach Barani. In December of 2015, I got a phone call that he was in the hospital battling cancer. And I was up here, it was in December, I was up here visiting family at the time, and I was told that he wanted to speak to some of his former players, or they wanted the opportunity to come speak while I was in the hospital. Honestly, I think I could have made it back to see him, but being as young as I was, feeling the emotions I felt at that time, I just wasn't ready to speak with him. To this day, I still regret that. There's a lot I wanted to say to him, to thank him for what he meant to me growing up. Like I said, this man was a coach. He was a father figure to me. He was the most important person in my entire life. I'm standing up here today because of him. He gave me the most important thing a coach, I feel like, can give his players, and that's the ability to be great, the confidence to be great. And he gave that to me, both on the track and on the basketball court. I never got to say goodbye to him, but each day that I live this career, I feel like I'm respecting his legacy that he left to me. There's a handful of coaches in the state that were led by him, and I think that's just a testament to who he was as a person. I'm not the brightest coach. I've never claimed to know more than anyone else, but I know that I truly care about every single one of my players that goes to battle for me on the court and on the field. These young adults have meant more to me than they could even imagine, and I hope I mean as much to them, and so I want to thank them for that. So this group will always hold a special place to me because they are the first. After 14 years of waiting for my chance, this is the first group I've had as a head coach, and I want to share a few stories from this first track season. When I say your name, please stand and get embarrassed. Addison Anderson. I know we've talked about Addie enough tonight, but this is going to be different. So, Addie went from not wanting to do track at all this year, and I think her mom sad. It was kind of like pulling teeth to just get her to go out. And it started out as a little brag by me. I was like, hey, I'll just let you do long jump. Addie, how many events are you doing Wednesday? 4. Yeah, 4 events. So it started out as long jump, and it kind of built from there. But Addison is a perfect example of how much potential we have as athletes inside of us. And we just need to tap into that potential. Okay, she didn't want to do anything this year, and now she's somehow doing high jump. Just picked it up last week. Okay, and doing a great job at it. She's an athlete. And she's also the school record holder for the long jump. Jumped 15 feet 1.5 after not wanting to go out for long jump for track at all. Now she's a school record holder. So I hope Addison is a perfect example for everyone that there's a lot of greatness inside of us that just needs a little push to get to come out. Thank you, Addie. Kate, Kate, I got a question for you. Who's going to carry the boats? Yeah, Kate's going to carry the boats. That's right. Kate always comes to practice and meets with a positive attitude. No matter what happened that day or what's going on, he's going to carry the boats. He's going to be the spiritual leader of our team. And he makes sure, I come to practice in a bad mood sometimes, but after dealing with Kate, he can't. His attitude's infectious, and it just rubs off on everybody the right way. And so I really appreciate Kate for that. So thank you, Kate. Trey, the year started out a little rough. Hurdles were not going great for a while. Trish and I were kind of wondering when it was all going to come together. And then all we needed was that great race in O'Neill. Little kiss to the ex-girlfriend. And everything's been great since then. He's been a completely changed person. He's hit his stride at the right time. And, I really appreciate it what Trey's doing right now. Thank you, Trey. Morgan goes out there and severely hyperextends her knee in the 100 hurdles. Where was that at? Russell? O'Neill? That was O'Neill. O'Neill's a big event, apparently. Okay? So she hyperextends her knee pretty badly. And then she convinces all of us coaches and her mom that she could run the 300s. Okay? Each one of us, one by one, were standing in a circle and we're like, do you want to talk to her? No, do you want to talk to her? No, you try. So Trish goes over there. She comes back. Well, how'd that go, Trish? No, she's still going running. All right, let me try. So I go over there. I come back. Yeah, she's still going running. Her mom goes over there, talks to her, comes back. Well, she's running it, so okay, great. So she runs it. First hurdle, hops it, knee goes down, body goes down. Okay? Then she stands up and she looks at that next one and takes one step and stops. And it's a good thing she stopped because Trish and I were about to go out there and tackle her and pull her off the track. But we got her out, she got healed up, and now we're ready to tackle districts on Wednesday. Morgan's a perfect example of toughness. She's going to finish what she starts no matter what, no matter whether she should or she shouldn't. And that's a perfect example for everybody else. Thank you, Morgan. Kira Taylor. Kira, I need to thank you for being the leader this year. I know we did not want to do a relay this year, but we're doing a relay, and you have been a great leader for a group of underclassmen that can really do something great this week and next week. So I want to thank you, Kira, for being that leader. Mason's one of the most unique athletes I've ever coached because his motivation is just off the wall. He's motivated differently than anybody I've ever been around. Byron has to keep 200 splits for him in the 800 because that's how Mason's brain works. I really don't need it, but it works for Mason, so it works for me. he gets done running the race. He looks up. I think he looks up every night what the leaders are in the state, and especially Class D. And he gets done with the race, the O'Neill Classic, and he runs a two flat. And he comes over and he goes, "Jesus ain't the first in the state anymore." Kid from Axtell named, I believe it's pronounced Jesus probably, but he ran a 2:01 or a high 2, and Mason beat him for the lead of the state again. But that's just how Mason's wired. He's motivated differently, and I really appreciate Mason for that. So thank you, Mason. Yes. Now I know Byron is going to be at a loss without his shadow on the bus here in a few weeks, because Brett and Byron it's almost as bad as Brett or Mason and Byron. They're pretty much attached to the hip. But Brett started the year as a sprinter and a long jumper, and somehow ended up as a 400 runner, and now he's an 800 runner. So and kind of against his will, but that's where we are right now. He's been a key part to this team. I know we're all going to miss him. And I really appreciate him and Kate both. They're the Energizer bunnies of our team. They keep everything light and fun. And so I really appreciate Brett for that. So thank you, Brett. Jackson Allen. Okay, midway through the season, we had a little issue with what are we going to do with this 4x1? Because we've got 3 guys that are just flying around the track, and we need to find that 4th guy. And we tried a bunch of different people, and nothing was really clicking. Handoffs weren't clicking. And during this time, Jackie was taking 2 weeks off. I think he was sick or something. I don't know what was going on. But anyway, Jackson comes back, and we're like, hey, let's put the 6'4", 220 guy in the blocks and start the 4x1. That's a good idea. It's been a great idea, actually. His block starts great. His handoff with Dylan is just amazing. The first time they did a handoff, Jackson, senior, big guy, thrower. He gets out there, first handoff, perfect. I turned and I was like, what the heck is going on here? And from that point on, we didn't even work on anything else. We had our 4x1 runner, and it's Jackson Howell. And if nothing else, he's at least an intimidating factor lined up all next to these small guys, and they can look over at him and be like, what are you doing here, dude? So, thank you, Jackie. Appreciate you. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about the Norfolk Classic. We had technically 5 different athletes qualify for it. Every one of them placed at the Classic. I believe Carlene in the shot and disc was 2nd and 4th, right? Yep, 2nd and 4th, 2nd in shot, 4th in disc. Trey Anthony made it in the hurdles, he got 3rd down there. Mason ran his PR, of a 2 flat, and got 2nd in the 800. And more importantly, I got bragging rights over Byron on that because that's Mason's PR. I was in charge that day, and he wasn't, so that's fun for me. And Jameson Painter. So 2 days before the Classic, I get an email. A bunch of people had to back out. One thing led to another. JP's in the Classic. Sweet. So me, of course, I don't have JP's number. I want to let him know so we can, he can get plans straight away. So I sent him a team reach message. I was like, hey, JP, here's my phone number. Give me a call. And so he calls me, and he answers it, and he sounds like me giving a speech. His voice is cracking, and you can tell he kind of knows what I'm about to say, but he doesn't really know what I'm about to say. And so I tell him, hey dude, you want to run the 200 run? It was supposed to be Thursday, it ended up being Wednesday. And he's like, absolutely. And not only that, he gets down there, and he ends up getting 6th, and he almost PRs, and it was just a great race. And that was awesome. That's the stuff that I look for as a coach, making those phone calls and giving athletes good news like that. And finally, although she wasn't able to compete because she was injured at the time, Maya Lewis made it in the shot put. It's too bad we didn't get to see her throw down there, but as a freshman, that's a pretty darn good accomplishment to make the Classic. So give these athletes a round of applause. I promise I'm getting close to wrapping up. So districts is in 2 days. And if things go our way, we could end up with at least a couple bands going down the state, making their way to Omaha. And for this, I credit the athletes. These guys have really bought in completely to what we've been selling them all year long. They have so much more potential than they realize, and it's truly amazing as a coach to see them maximizing that potential. I want to thank my assistant coaches, Byron. These guys have been great for me. First year coach, not really knowing what I'm doing most of the time. Byron basically gets the workout set up for us. I trust him. As I learned picture day, he's the young coach, I'm the old coach with Mr. Gorman, so that was fun, but whatever. So I trust his expertise, and he comes up with good workouts for us, and he does a great job for us. Trish Morrison, I joke with Trish and I are kind of like a good cop, bad cop. When dealing with certain athletes, we gotta know which buttons we can push and which ones we can't. And Trish has been great for me. Is Trish here? Trish has been great for me, just to be able to get to know some of these athletes and know which buttons I need to push. And for some, I need to go over and kind of, be the nudger a little bit to get them motivated. But for others, I need to stay away, and Trish needs to deal with it, which is perfect. So I thank Trish for that. And my final assistant coach, John Norman. John's the widely veteran of the group. I feel bad because I haven't been able to check in on the throwers as much at meets as I would like. I feel bad being throwers. But part of that is because I trust John enough to deal with it. He's been doing it for a very long time. He's very consistent. He knows the athletes know what to expect from him. He knows what to expect from them. So I want to thank those assistant coaches. Finally, I want to thank bus drivers, thank my managers this year. Oh, that reminds me, I didn't thank Amy Kagan, my basketball manager from this year, so I got to thank him too. George. He had like 8 different names. Anyway, my track managers, I need to thank them. Dahlia Dearmont and Lindsay Ryder, thank you guys for bringing your couch and sitting on it. That means you guys did a great job doing that. Thank you. And finally, I want to thank the administration. I want to thank Mrs. Fisher, Mrs. Ebert, Mr. Stephen, Mr. Otten, and really anyone that gave me the opportunity to lead this program. This is a job that I feel I was truly meant for, and the opportunity to prove that is something that I truly don't take for granted. So